Alright, so as you may or may not be able to tell from the quality of the video, the stuff in the center is definitely cooking quicker than the stuff around the edges. And that's just because it's hotter in the center. So the best thing you can do is just move around. Just, take something like this here and then take one on the end and, put it into the center and move stuff around. It requires a little more interaction than, set it and forget it type cooking. But, brings you closer to the food. The way, grandmas and great-grandmas and whatever used to do it. So, move the stuff around. Doing this while trying to keep the camera focused. Very simple. Also, I don't know whether it's the angle of my stove. I tend to pool more liquid on this side than that side. It always happens that way. So, the handle gets rather hot to the touch. So you may want to have some sort of a hot glove or something. I could stand it in short bursts. I usually just tilt it a little bit, get some going there. And it's just basically, you can walk away for a few minutes on this type of heat. Don't lose track, but, you can go work at the computer or do whatever for a few minutes and then come back to it. So, as long as it's not you're in a hurry type of a deal, and this is actually a very pleasurable way of cooking. And it works. As you can see, after a few minutes unattended, while I was doing something on the computer, this is what you get, if you like it crispy. And even the ones on the end cook, It just depends how crispy you want them. You can move them around. You have a lot more room. And as you can see, there's a lot of drippings in the pan that you can either discard or save. You can see the skillets have these handy little pouring things on the edge that you can use to pour it into like a Pyrex bowl or something that can stand the heat. If you do collect them in a jar in the fridge, don't pour it directly into that because it's too hot. Let it cool in like a Pyrex dish for a while before pouring it into the cold container. A little tip for you. So, there we go. You can move the crispier stuff towards the edges, like I said, and the other ones, more into the center. Or just take them off. I actually like them less crispy. This is just a demonstration. As you can see, there's a lot of, grease there that you can, like I said, save or discard. Okay, I drained with the fat. You can see that cooling there. You don't need all of that to cook in. And you don't want to save it after you've cooked other things in it. And I put some eggs in. Now you can notice I stayed away from the center there, which is the hottest point. There's really no need. You do want the eggs to cook for a while before you try to spatula them, because you'll break them up. You really just need to let them sit there for a little while before you do the over easy thing, or however you do it. And some will stick. You just gently pry it off and it'll come off. I'll get to that later. And sometimes the yolks do break. You just have to be a little forgiving. I've gone times without breaking anything, and then other times they break. It just goes with the territory. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this. You can see it's the thin whites that really stick more than anything. How's that? It's not non-stick, right? But not too bad. Let's just slap it down too hard, it breaks anyway. It's this stuff that sticks, but look at that, it came right up. I'm cooking on low heat at this point. There's so much heat in the pan. Because I let them cook for a while. See? If you do it too soon, you'll tear the yolk apart. So look at this. Sometimes it comes off the spatula wrong. So this looks like it's going to go pretty well. Alright, just a few seconds. Look at that. Not too bad. So there you go. Eggs over easy in a cast iron skillet. Obviously not a non-stick pan. And not too bad. And you know, you just scrape the excess off. You can scrape this. Turn off the heat. Let it cool a little bit. While it's still warm, you can clean it. And get all that stuff off. And using a paper towel, you mop up the excess, I'll show. And then with the kosher salt and everything, you kind of sand it nice. And then you recoat it with, you know, any kind of cooking spray or whatever to keep it moist in between usings. You don't use water on these. It may go against some people's things not to clean it with water and soap, but you don't have to. Okay, so basically, just wipe up the remaining grease and particles as best you can. Now, as you can see, there's really nothing sticking to that thing. It's pretty much the way I had it in the beginning. You could feel there's a little bit residue in there. This pan's pretty new, actually. I've only been using it, you know, for the last month or so, month and a half. So that's what you have. So now, best thing you can do. Now, you could pretty much leave it like this, but if you want to get, you know, alright, so we've got some kosher salt in the pan. Best thing to do is to just rub it around. Use it like sandpaper. If you see an area that has, you know, what looks like some residue, just, you know, give it to that area. Kosher salt will act like sandpaper and remove a lot of that. Most of it, not all of it. And again, this thing was so hot, there's definitely no germs on it. But the salt is also, you know, kind of a disinfectant anyway. So all you people who think you have to use soap and water, think again. Now for something that's really heavy and crusted, you can use the spatula. Just kind of put it on there and, you know, rub it in. Again, I don't really need that right now. If you rub too hard or you sand too much, you can also remove your seasoning layer. You don't want to do that. You don't want to overdo this. So, I need to put the camera down for a second while I get this stuff out of the pan. Okay, so that's what's left. It's dry. Cooking spray works fine. Light layer, and then you rub it around. You don't want it to rust. So this really only took a few minutes. Again, maybe not optimal if you have to run out the door real quick to get to work or something, but it can be done. And then that's it. This pan is already cool enough to touch. They're extremely heavy. That's it. Ready for the next use. I hope this has been a little bit informative and maybe gets you on the road to using cast iron cookware, adding it to your kitchen toolbox. Again, I don't use it as a complete substitute for non-stick. You know, I believe in best tool for the job, but this is definitely something you can use for all sorts of things. Not just breakfast either. Steaks, things like that. Maybe we'll do that sometime. Alright, thanks. See you later.